So this is part 4. I'm trying to make this a little faster, and this is the only way I can do it through YouTube, is if I pre-record it. But anyway, this is part 3. So I met the love of my life. He came in, he was one of my patients, and from that point forward, we were inseparable. We were friends first. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm 24 and sober, but I'm still a virgin. I chose to save myself for the man that I knew I was going to be with forever. So I was a 24-year-old virgin, but I had not told him this yet. We were still friends, the zone, and then one day he asked me to go on a date, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we went on a date, and he was just awesome. He was amazing. I never had a man treat me the way he treated me. He treated me like a queen. Anything I wanted. I mean, he would come over my house and with like flat screen TV, surround sound, he just spoiled the crap out of me. Opened doors for me. I wasn't used to any of this. So, he had told me that he had a son with another girl, obviously. He was in his active addiction when he got her pregnant, and what really attracted me even more to him was the fact that he stepped up as a dad. And his son lived in Brooklyn, New York. Every other weekend, that man took the train to Brooklyn and picked him up and made sure to spend time with him, of course, at my apartment. He was living in a recovery house. It's just not a place for a baby. So, of course, I let them come stay with me. But I'm a 24-year-old single girl. I wasn't ready to be a mom. But I did it because I truly cared for this man. And we raised a little boy together. He was 2 years old when we got full custody of him. My husband immediately went and filed for emergency custody because we didn't want to have to go through the mother taking him back. And this child had separation anxiety like I've never seen before. And he was a tough kid. But I loved him. He was just the cutest, most loving little peanut ever. His mother was Haitian. I had no idea about that culture. So we were grateful when family members reached out from her side and said they wanted to help, teach him about his culture. And they seemed like really good people. So just keep this whole story in mind because this is going to be relevant in the very in the future, okay, which is the very recent past of mine. So he would go, I'm not going to name any names, but he would go with this family like a weekend here, a weekend there. They would take him places, take him to New York to go visit his real family, and we really appreciated it at the time. So fast forward, we lived a really good life, and he proposed to me on Halloween of 2007. It was a leap year, so I remember that. And he asked my dad and my brother if he could have my hand in marriage. He was just such an amazing man. I have no words for how lucky I was to have found this man. So yeah, we got engaged. Now, that's all great and everything, but we had set our wedding for the next Halloween because it just so happened to fall on a Friday. I worked at a hall. It's one of the most haunted places in Bucks County. And I used to work there, so I was friendly with the owner. And that's where I wanted to get married. And this place is like $250 a head, like for minimum. I got this wedding for basically like under 10,000. It was really cheap, and they let me have full reign of decorate and whatever I wanted. It was amazing. It was such a magical day. It was the best day of my life. It was beautiful. It was the day that we got married on the parade of the World Series, because the Phillies had won the World Series the night before. And just what a magical night. We did the Thriller dance. I had a choreographer come in, and it was before photo booths were even a cool thing. I think I started that trend. But we got a photo booth, and that was so much fun. And it was just such nothing went wrong. It was perfect. Everything was perfect. I didn't let anybody dress up because I thought that was trashy. I was like, I want to be the center of attention. I don't want people looking at the little devil or the little angel with her butt hanging out. No. I wanted to be classy, and it was a beautiful, amazing wedding, and it was the happiest I've ever been. So, but before the actual wedding, the place where I was living, I told you, was like a cult. And it was a homeowners association. Okay, so put it that way. But this was a different kind of homeowners association. Like, they had weird rules. You could not live with anyone unless you were married to them. And we had a little biracial kid running in and out of the house. So I hadn't told anybody that, my fiance was living with me at the time, and his son. And they reported me to the board of directors and said and this is the racism in our world. It's disgusting. And because before his son moved in, there was no eyes on us. Like, nobody was paying attention to us. It was a predominantly white community, so we'll keep it at that. So we were forced to go to the Justice of the Peace and get married, all for a piece of paper. We had already had our wedding date set, and this was like completely taking the wind out of our sail. It was devastating. So we decided, it'll be fine, it'll be cute, let's go on Valentine's Day. We'll go to Bucks County, no one will know, and we'll just do a mock ceremony. We just won't tell anybody. Well, stay tuned, because I'll have a little picture collage for you in the next part. But there was no secret about us getting married, because it was Valentine's Day, and it was a big day at that courthouse for people to get married. So there was a pretty big newspaper in Bucks County that I had no idea how big it was. It was one of the free given newspapers that everybody read. Bucks County is very big, so stay tuned.